time by, we're going to go green. Junior Farley in the 72. Blair Wicket in the 97 will bring this field to the green. Watch it like an accordion down the backstretch. They'll all bunch up nose to tail. And the Mid Summer Classic 150 is underway. They charge into turn number 1. Farley down low. Blair Wicket up high. Wicket with a good run through turns 1 and 2, but Farley going to drive it deep into 3.
It is Junior Farley being challenged now by 97 Blair Wicket. Wicket and Farley in a dead heat. Stoddy has moved up. He's up to third position. 22 of Kyle Steckly also on the move. We got some fast cars heading towards the front.
Junior Farley going to clear the way at the front. Nice job by Blair Wicket to get down in front of Josh Stoddy. I believe there was a little bit of friendly driving there by Stoddy to allow Blair Wicket to tuck down in line. The top 5 are all single file.
I don't think anybody is holding anything back right now. 72 Farley out front of Blair Wickets, 17 Stoddy in third, Steckly in the 22 is fourth, followed by Joe Lawrence. 81 Andrew Gresel is on the move.
That outside lane has really sprung to life. Corey Luciano in the 94 has not gotten off to a great start. So drivers that are willing to jump up to the outside groove have been able to get around. Remember, Luciano started in the 3rd spot, so that was a big benefit to the outside lane.
It is Farley out front, Wickets in second, then we got the 17 of Josh Stoddy trying to get on the inside of Blair Wickets.
Stoddy drove it deep down into turn number 3, gets a run to the inside. He'll try to clear the 97 a Wicket off of turn 2. He does so. Now Kyle Steckly going to make that move, and Blair Wicket going to get back down to the inside. Blair and his spotter doing a good job making sure he doesn't get hung up on the outside for too very long.
Andrew Gresel starting to march his way towards the front. Shea Gemmel in 3s, 78 Joe Lawrence, and 52 Jake Sheridan. Sheridan doing very well here after a week of heavy equipment damage, and right now he sits chasing down the 78 of Joe Lawrence.
They had a lot of repairs to make on that 52 after getting upside down here last week on the back straightaway. And Jake Sheridan was quite concerned about that race car, but he thought, you know, we've got the midway break to make some adjustments, so we're going to hang in there. He's looking like he's doing a little more than just hanging in there right now, as Blair Wicket has slid himself back almost out of the top 5.
Gresel marching towards the front right now, up to 4th place, trying to hold off Shea Gemmel in the 3, Wicket in the 97, and Lawrence in the 78.
Close battle for the 2nd spot. Kyle Steckly keeping the pressure on Josh Stoddy in the number 17. Shea Gemmel to the inside of Blair Wicket. They're doing battle for position just outside of the top 5.
Gemmel, Wicket, Lawrence, followed by Sheridan. Going back through the field, we have got the number 94 of Luciano. It's very, very tight racing. Car we haven't talked about a lot yet, 84 JR Fitzpatrick. He is starting to work his way towards the front here as we approach lap number 14.
Joe Lawrence came into this race with a 1-point advantage over Jake Sheridan. Danny Benedict was another 7 points back in that 54, and he's mired deep in this field outside of the top 10. He's got a little bit of work to do to work his way up towards where his points competitors are running, although JR Fitzpatrick only a couple of cars ahead of Danny Benedict at the moment.
Benedict was involved in that crash down at Sauble Speedway a few weeks ago. Car maybe not quite up to what it was to start the season. Meanwhile, Farley leads it. Stoddy in second, followed by Steckly in the 22. Gresel up to 4th. Gemmel in 5th, and Wicket in 6th position.
JR Fitzpatrick to the inside of Corey Luciano, so Fitzpatrick up into the 9th spot. When we look at Josh Stoddy and Kyle Steckly, they're turning faster laps right now than Junior Farley in the 72. They've caught the race leader. Whoa, trouble down into 3.
Major crash. And we've got fire on one of the cars, Adam.
We do so.
That's Joe Lawrence, I believe.
Oh, no. Joe Lawrence, the points leader in the number 78, and he has climbed quickly out of that race car.
I think Mum's motor just bit the dust.
And you can see by his body language, Joe Lawrence not impressed. I believe he's trying to jam that car in gear, and now we'll hope for the fire crew to show up fairly quickly to limit the damage on that 78 machine.
A low-budget team, they put the motor in the car. Joe's mother bought it.
We're going to do a quick fire it up on this restart so you can enjoy the sounds of the APC late models.
Got a new leader coming out of the restart. Adam, the 22 of Kyle Steckly, has got ahead of Josh Stein.
Guys, you've got to keep an eye on that 72 of Farley. Already passed 2, 4, 6 cars, working that outside like it's made for the 72. That is the car to watch.
He's dropped down into line, and that's what you've got to do. Take the advantage, pass the cars you can pass. JR Fitzpatrick did the same thing at the front of the field. He's up into the top 5, running in the 4th position, feeling the pressure from Andrew Gresel.
Steckly is your leader. Stoddy in 2nd, Gemmel in 3rd. Then JR Fitzpatrick, Andrew Gresel, followed by Blair Wickett, and 54, Danny Benedict, moving up through the pack. Sheridan in 52. But up front, Steckly looking good, and he could be tough to beat once he's out front.
He sure can be, as he sets the pace right now in the 22 machine. He's got about a car length and a half over Josh Stoddy, and then they're nose to tail. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 2nd through 7th. Nose to tail out there is now Fitzpatrick with a nose to the inside of Shea Gemmel.
Fitzpatrick really working on Gemmel. Into the corner, and this position could go to Fitzpatrick. Side by each going into number 3. What a battle, and looks like the number 81 of Gresel might have tapped Fitzpatrick coming out of 4. Nothing resulted, but Fitzpatrick now all the way up to 3rd.
Shea Gemmel going to tuck back in line behind the 84 Fitzpatrick. Gresel saying, not so fast, I want to get to the inside. Puts his nose down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get the power down. He's going to drive it deep into 3, but Gemmel drives it deeper.
You don't want to have JR Fitzpatrick get out front if you're a competitor. Once JR goes there, he can be dangerous. He doesn't like to give up the lead, like our present leader, Kyle Steckly, who's holding off Josh Stoddy, Fitzpatrick, Gemmel, and Andrew Gresel.
Little deeper in the pack, Tom Gibbons to the inside of Corey Luciano. Junior Farley going to take advantage. He'll follow him through as well. Luciano closes the door, but Sean Chenoweth was there.
We got problems out of number 2.
Luciano tried to close the door on the 89C of Sean Chenoweth, and wasn't a lot of contact, but I'm pretty sure there was a bit of a tap on the left rear corner of the 94 machine, and around goes Luciano.
So caution on the speedway here on lap number 27. Out of the last caution, we saw Kyle Steckly get away on Josh Stoddy. JR Fitzpatrick marching his way closer to the front.
Kyle Steckly chooses to start on the outside. That shows a lot of trust in the 17 of Josh Stoddy. Junior Farley just outside of the top 10. He'll restart in the 12th position, but Kyle Steckly going to bring us back to green. 27 laps complete, 123 laps to go.
Steckly picks it up where he left off, gets away on Stoddy, and here comes Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick on the high side of Josh Stoddy, trying to make his move and get closer to Kyle Steckly.
Junior Farley again picking up a few spots on that restart in the 72. He's up into the top 10 after changing that tire and going to the back. So a great couple of restarts for Junior Farley. Let's see if JR Fitzpatrick, now that he's up into the second spot, can he close ground on our race leader, Kyle Steckly? He's not going to be able to with Josh Stoddy jacking up the back end of that 84 machine.
Great run for Steckly. Then we got Fitzpatrick followed by Stoddy, 81 Gresel. Andrew Gresel on the high side of Shea Gemmel. Then we got Blair Wickett in that number 97 trying to move up closer to the front, but he's battling it out with the 54 of Danny Benedict.
Side by side down the front straightaway, 2 rows deep. Shea Gemmel and Andrew Gresel battling for the 4th spot, and then Blair Wickett with Danny Benedict battling for 6th. They sail those cars down into the 3rd turn. Whoa, trouble in turn 4. I believe that's James Horner in the 79 that's gone around, and I think one other car spun to avoid Tyler DiVincenzo down there.
It's the 97, and
so Zach Sprung is one of the cars down there. James Horner is one, and Tyler DiVincenzo is the 3rd car. Steckly up high, Josh Stoddy down low.
so Steckly trying to get the speed up and get around Josh Stoddy. Stoddy keeps on the inside here. Very close coming out of 4 down the front, and Steckly will get away. Has to be concerned with JR Fitzpatrick now. Fitzpatrick looks very fast.
Battle for the lead, Stoddy to the inside, Jim.
Stoddy on the inside, Steckly on the high side. Steckly is able to hang on. Great run for Kyle Steckly. Feeling the heat from the 17 of Stoddy coming out of 2. But
Josh Stoddy keeping that pressure on the race leader. JR Fitzpatrick right there in 3rd. Andrew Gresel taking over the 4th spot with Danny Benedict in the 54 riding 5th. They're still side by side further back. Junior Farley trying to get around Jake Sheridan in that 52.
He's coming up right now on Sheridan, and Gemmel's ahead of Sheridan. Gemmel coming up now on Wickett. He's got a ways to go to get to the front. They're all trying to chase down car number 22, Kyle Steckly. Steckly having a great night. Stoddy 2nd, Fitzpatrick in 3rd.
Sheridan just hadn't been able to clear the 72. He finally does, and now Tom Gibbons drives to the inside. Gibbons always a strong runner here at Sauble Speedway in that number 10. So we watch that battle a little deeper in the field as they go to town, racing hard for position. Now Sean Chenoweth to the inside of Junior Farley. So one of the first times we've seen Farley going the wrong direction out there.
Up front, it is Steckly that leads Stoddy, Fitzpatrick.
Whoa! Junior Farley goes around. And another flat left rear tire.
like, you know, started up front, Blair Wickett, went back, and he's hanging in there in that number 97. Going to restart here in 5th position.
Yeah, he's sort of come into his own here after the first couple of restarts. We'd love to see some green flag racing and let them get a number of laps under their belts. I'm not sure about that one. Kyle Steckly, the race leader, but Josh Stoddy led the way to that restart, and that might open the door for Andrew Gresel. He's to the inside, and that number 81, Stoddy, tried to close the door, but Gresel on the inside.
Andrew Gresel is moving towards the front. He's up to 3rd place. JR Fitzpatrick on the high side. Gresel has come up through the field fairly quietly, and now battles out with JR Fitzpatrick.
A couple of drivers who have rubbed fenders a number of times before, as Fitzpatrick might have tagged the outside wall off of turn 2. He'll get back in line. Right behind him, Blair Wickett and Danny Benedict doing battle for position.
So 2 former champions, the reigning champion and the 2016 champions, duking it out for 3rd place. Gresel and Fitzpatrick, we go back to the 97 of Wickett and the 54, Danny Benedict. After a very quiet start, Danny Benedict marching his way towards the front.
Shea Gemmel in that number 3's just got nowhere to go as you see that battle working off of turn number 4. JR Fitzpatrick keeping the pressure on Andrew Gresel. He looks to the inside, just couldn't get the drive off of 2.
Gemmel was off to a fast start, but he's been very quiet, about mid-pack in this one. But up front, Kyle Steckly has been the class of the field so far. Stoddy 2nd. Fitzpatrick now gets by the 81 of Gresel. And Fitzpatrick up and into 3rd position. So 2 rivals going hard at it, the 84 and the 81.
Kyle Steckly, a 1/10 of a second a lap faster than Josh Stoddy that last time. I'll have a look at this time, a 14.54 to a 14.62, so about a 1/10 of a second quicker. That'll equate to about a half a car length a lap on the racetrack. Danny Benedict has almost cleared Blair Wickett as they drive into turn number 3. Can he do it on the front stretch? I believe Danny Benedict going to be able to close the door on the 97 of Wickett.
So Benedict has moved up into the top 5 position, marching his way towards the front.
James Horner hit the wall in turn 3, climbed the wall, and now he keeps going, but he was way into the wall in turn number 3. The car got airborne, he came back down and carried on.
Well, that's the way the wall is designed. It's the New Jersey barrier type, designed to throw the car back into traffic. Whereas if it was the wall like it is down between 1 and 2, which is straight up and down, you slam hard into that wall. Right now, it is Steckly, Stoddy, Fitzpatrick, Gresel, and Danny Benedict.
Whoa, trouble in turn 3 for Blair Wickett as Shea Gemmel gets into the left rear corner of the 97. Then Wickett sort of came across the nose of Gemmel, and Gemmel drove it deep into turn 1. I don't think we're done watching these 2 drivers.
For the first time in the race, we've got some separation. Stoddy's got the big lead on, Steckly's got the big lead on Stoddy, then back to Fitzpatrick, Gresel, and Benedict. They are spaced. This is probably the biggest green flag run we've had since back about lap 17. And now you're seeing Steckly pull away.
Blair Wickett trying to pull away from the 3 of Shea Gemmel. Gemmel was under attack from the 10 of Tom Gibbons. They battle for that 6th position. As you said, the top 5 did what I thought most of the field would do, and that's spread out a little bit and just run laps. Less than 100 laps to go, about 20 laps away from the midway break of this race. And now things are starting to settle down, although Junior Farley gets to the inside of Sean Chenoweth off of turn 4. He'll make that pass.
Right now, 56 laps on the board. Steckly with about a half a straightaway lead on Stoddy, going back to Fitzpatrick, Gresel, Benedict. Then we got the 97 of Wickett and the 3 of Gemmel. Gemmel and the 10 of Gibbons battle it out. Then Jake Sheridan, the 41 of Holloway. And you have got a battle here with the 22 car on the racetrack. And right now, the 97.
Yeah, Chase Pinsino in the 22 and Tyler DiVincenzo in the 97. Because now that we've had a long green flag run, you've got to be able to stay ahead of the race leader Kyle Steckly to the halfway point. We're only 16 laps away from what we expect will be that halfway break. So how many cars can Kyle Steckly put a lap down between now and then? I'm not sure if that answer is any more than the one car ahead of him, James Horner.
Well, Horner got slowed down when he had the brush with the wall. Right now, it is Steckly. Then we have Stoddy, Fitzpatrick, Gresel now being challenged by Benedict for the first time.
Yeah, Danny starting to mount a challenge there as Kyle Steckly drives to the inside of James Horner. He'll put the 79 a lap down. Benedict not quite fast enough to stick a nose under, but now he gets to the inside of Andrew Gresel off of turn 4.
Up front, it is Steckly. Put the lap on Horner. Stoddy is next, followed by Fitzpatrick, and we've got Benedict taking over the position on 81, Andrew Gresel.
Good pass by Danny Benedict. He's about a straightaway behind race leader Kyle Steckly as the laps click away in a hurry here. Steckly is half a straightaway back of Sean Chenoweth with 11 laps to go till the midway point of this race.
Great racing in this one. Steckly flying, 17 Stoddy in second, trying to get by Horner. He's bringing Fitzpatrick with him, going back to Benedict, Gresel. Then we got Blair Wickett and Shea Gemmel. For the first time, things are getting stretched out here with 65 laps completed. Sauble Speedway in the schedule 150. All brought to you by APC.
The most intriguing battle on the track is the race for 11th right now. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th are just ahead of Kyle Steckly in the 22. So Steckly is about 6 car lengths behind Sean Chenoweth in the 89C. Just at the front end of the pack Chenoweth is racing with is the 22P at Chase Pinsino.
Those early cautions kept things spread out, and now we are starting to see drivers get lapped by the race leader Kyle Steckly. Steckly Stoddy going back to Fitzpatrick, Benedict, and Gresel.
And you wonder how much Kyle Steckly is going to press here. He got slowed up a little bit behind Sean Chenoweth, and Sean moved up to the outside groove. Steckly goes by. So the 89C now a lap down to the leader.
Well, you don't see that happen very often, but the number 22 is just that good. He is strong here tonight. He has opened up about 5 car lengths over the 17 of Stoddy. Then we have got Fitzpatrick. We're down to 4-0 before the break.
That battle for 11th is a 4-car battle, 11th through 15th. Corey Luciano is 16th in that 94, and he's kind of drifted back off the tail end of that pack. I have a feeling Luciano might not move over quite as easily as Sean Chenoweth did there.
So 54, Benedict has some problems getting by Horner. That slowed him down a bit. Back to Gresel and Wickett, 73 in the books. Right now, we are seeing Steckly pick him off one by one.
Yeah, Corey Luciano held him up for a little bit. There is 74 laps go up on the board. I do not think Kyle Steckly will be able to catch the 72 of Junior Farley unless they wait a number of laps to go to the midway break. We'll wait for Trevor Hambley to make that call. That's up to the race director when he decides to throw the yellow flag and bring the field together for the halfway break. It's at or around the midway point of the race.
So 75 laps complete, halfway. We have got a leader, 22, Kyle Steckly. Josh Stoddy second, JR Fitzpatrick in third. Go way back to the 54 of Danny Benedict, the 81 of Gresel, and the 97 of Blair Wickett. The longer this goes, the hotter the brakes get here at Sauble Speedway, and we've got caution on the speedway.
Junior Farley is happy to see that yellow flag as Kyle Steckly had closed in on the back end of the number 72. Of course, Farley runs in the 14th position, so there's 14 cars on the lead lap. 76 laps are complete, 74 laps remain. On that last restart, Josh Stoddy was out in front, so Kyle Steckly has to fix that. Even if he's got to back way down and pull Josh Stoddy back to you, you can't let the bumper of the 17 be ahead of your own as you come back to this restart. Here we go for the second half of the Mid Summer Classic 150.
And just like that, the outside line makes a move one more time. Steckly up and around the outside, brings Fitzpatrick with him. Steckly now closes that door on the low side to make sure Josh Stoddy can't get that run out of turn 4.
JR Fitzpatrick with a great turn 3 and 4 on the high side. Not only did he clear Josh Stoddy, he almost made a move on the race leader, Kyle Steckly. So the top 3 single file were side by side for 4th. Danny Benedict down low in the 54. Tom Gibbons up high in the 10.
Well, earlier tonight, you guys were mentioning Tom Gibbons at Sauble Speedway. I don't know that there's many people on the track right now that have more laps under their belt than Tom Gibbons. He's going to be able to ride around a little bit now in 5th spot, and maybe he's got something for them in that number 10 car right now. He looks like he's getting a pretty good run down the backstretch, but they seem to be pulling him out of turn 4 right now.
Further back, they fan out 2 wide, 3 wide. Junior Farley just had to lift, had a close encounter with Eric Talariva in the 74. So Farley not quite seeing the magic he saw in the first half of this race as the laps click away. Kyle Steckly has opened up 5 car lengths on Fitzpatrick.
And we are pretty much single file all the way back to about 10th position right now, although just as I mentioned that, Josh Stoddy going into turn 3, he makes a move on the inside of JR Fitzpatrick, not able to make it stick that yet though. Fitzpatrick manages to keep that outside line strong. Stoddy closes up nice and tight in the middle of 3 and 4. He might take that spot away this time.
Rubbing doors off of turn number 4. Stoddy with the advantage at the stripe. JR Fitzpatrick not giving up the fight on the outside. He'll continue to try down into turn 3, but Stoddy might have him beat this time off of turn 4.
And does that mean we're finally seeing Josh Stoddy's car come to life? It looks like it had a little bit of a lull as we got to the tail end of the first half of this race. Is that reversing now? Are we starting to see that 17 car maybe make a little bit of a move here?
Well, I 100% believe you don't want to be lightning fast right now, because I would be very worried at what your car is going to be like at the end of the run. For Kyle Steckly, all he's doing is hitting his marks right now. He's got a very fast race car. But for everyone else really fighting further back, you hope you've got a little bit more in reserve as the race goes on. And we're going to have a look at this replay of Junior Farley getting squeezed up into the front stretch wall. Chase Pinsno in the 22 got up close and personal with Farley. He bounced up the front stretch wall, and now he's trying to close back in. We'll see how he reacts if he closes into the back bumper of that 22.
And we've got that battle for 3rd spot on the screen for you right now. The 54 car on the inside, Fitzpatrick on the outside. They've been side by side for a couple of laps now, not able to sort this out. Fitzpatrick probably doing a smart thing here. He had about a half a car length back. He had room to get down and into line, and it'll be comfortable now. Just ride for a little bit until you need to make that move again, and you've got a lot of experience behind that 84 steering wheel tonight.
60 laps to go as we complete lap number 90 on the racetrack. Things have strung out, but the race still a lot of excitement. The battle for third that we've been documenting. Danny Benedict in the 54 has the spot. JR Fitzpatrick fourth. Tom Gibbons just kind of hanging around to the fifth spot in that number 10. Blair Wickett back in sixth in the 97. And then further back, the gloves are off in some of these battles deeper in the field.
Yeah, they're starting to thin themselves out a little bit, which is going to give them an opportunity to drive the preferred line, whatever that might be for them right now. It's when you start to get thrown off of that line that you really want to drive, that's where bad things happen, as we see Gresel now move to the inside in turn 3.
Powerful move off of turn number 2. Gresel will take the sixth spot from Blair Wickett. Now let's see if he can close in on Tom Gibbons. Gresel, I believe, is the front-running car who made adjustments during that break.
And now we're getting a 3-car battle for third spot right now. Fitzpatrick has kind of fallen back into the clutches of the 10-car of Tom Gibbons. So is Gibbons coming to life, or is Fitzpatrick's car kind of falling off a little bit? I'm going to lean the Fitzpatrick way. I don't think that car is as strong as it was when we finished our first 75.
No, I think you could be absolutely right as they work off of turn 4. Gibbons definitely looking pretty sporty in that 10. Shea Gemmel further back. He went for a long slide off the 4th turn. That opens the door to Jake Sheridan in the 52. They'll race side by side down the backstretch, and now Sheridan will clear that number 3 into turn 3.
And Tom Gibbons now has closed right up onto the back bumper of the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. A little bit of a nudge in the middle of 1 and 2 with that new patch that's been put down at the exit of turn 2. Somebody like Tom Gibbons, he's been hitting that all year long. He knows the kind of launch you can get off of that thing. Watch for him to try and make that move, maybe going down the back stretch.
Danny Benedict is pulled away from the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick, so Fitzpatrick can spend lots of time looking in the rearview mirror at the big CarQuest logo on the front end of Tom Gibbons' number 10 as Gibbons poked a nose to the inside, couldn't do anything with it, but he's keeping the pressure piled on.
And you know, I don't really want to kind of jinx this right now, but we have the kind of look on the track for a good long green flag run. Chenoweth now makes a move on the inside, just as I talk about the single file we've got all the way around the track on the inside of Gemmel for position. But really right now, Adam, it looks so, and just as I said it, here you go.
And Junior Farley had closed in enough on the 22 with Chase Pinsino. I think he had been trying to extract that revenge for quite a few laps.
Yeah. You, as a race car driver, you have a nice long memory. And when there's a lot of laps still to go, you just need to wait for that to happen.
And that was a friendly spin.
Oh, yeah.
That was you know what? You put me in the wall. You might have damaged the front end of the car. And if Junior Farley knows that, if the steering wheel isn't sitting the same place as it was, he knows his opportunity at a great finish is over. And another driver you feel maybe had done you wrong, you're going to do them a little wrong.
And you can see, I love the shot we're looking at right now, below the 2 cars that were involved in the incident. Look how shiny the track is now getting. The rubber is really starting to build up down there. So cars that maybe weren't quite handling that well, that much rubber on the surface is really going to make those cars a lot better.
50 laps to go. We're going to do a quick fire it up on this restart so you can enjoy the sights and sounds of the APC series. And there's a problem on Tom Gibbons in that number 10. He restarted in the 3rd position, starting to hamper this fire it up, but Tom Gibbons now runs outside of the top 14 at the back of the field in that number 10. What an unfortunate break as Shea Gemmel with a lot of body damage, but at the front, Josh Stoddy putting the pressure on Kyle Steckly in the 22.
I wonder how long before the fender flies off that number 3 car. Shea Gemmel dragging some sheet metal is up front, 27. It is Steckly. Then we've got Stoddy, followed by Danny Benedict and JR Fitzpatrick.
Jake Sheridan now having problems at the back of the field. He's got a flat right rear tire, I believe, as he spins around off of turn number 4. That's going to bring a yellow flag.
Looking for the green. It is out, and we're racing.
Josh Stoddy got a good launch that time on the bottom. Kyle Steckly going to try to fight on the high side, but Josh Stoddy with the advantage down into 3.
Well, Stoddy's going to try and take over top spot here, and he will lead lap number 105. Josh Stoddy in the 17 ahead of 22 Steckly and number 84 JR Fitzpatrick.
There was a big skirmish down in 3 and 4. Junior Fardy with smoke coming off the back of that 72 machine. He's still out there and still up to speed. What's that smoke coming from? Maybe a left rear tire rub.
Flat left front is collapsed down. The fender is rubbing on that left front, Adam. If you look at the wheel, it's almost tucked right up inside.
Out front right now, Stoddy being pressured by Steckly. Steckly's led most of the laps in this race. Right now he's in second spot for the first time in about 100 laps.
Stoddy is very carefully choosing his line up off the corner, cautious not to leave the inside open, keeping that car pinned to the bottom on corner exit. He leaves the lane open a little bit on entry, but on exit he's really guarding that bottom lane.
109 laps in the books. It is Stoddy, Steckly, Fitzpatrick, Benedict, 81 Andrew Gresel, 97 Blair Wickett, and 47 Taylor Holloway. Stoddy looking very strong and looking very confident here as he leads lap number 110.
JR Fitzpatrick trying to clear Danny Benedict, but Benedict has other thoughts in that 54 machine as he sends it deep on the outside. They continue to race side by side for the third spot with Fitzpatrick holding the edge at the stripe.
Well, Stoddy and Steckly are loving the 84 rather of Fitzpatrick and the 54 of Benedict battling it out because they are getting away. 112 in the books. Stoddy having his hands full now with Steckly.
Steckly gets his nose to the inside. Stoddy trying to keep him pinned down, but Kyle Steckly keeping the nose of the 22 there. Now he'll tuck back in line. Not able to keep his momentum on the inside as the battle rages on. Danny Benedict had the third spot that time at the line.
Stoddy out front, Steckly in second. Then we've got Fitzpatrick, Benedict, and the 81 of Gresel. 97 Blair Wickett, 41 Taylor Holloway. And up front, it is a battle. Stoddy looking very, very strong. Trying to keep ahead of Steckly and doing a great job.
We go side by side and watch that battle for third as well as the battle for the lead. Kyle Steckly stalking his prey, the Ridgeline 17 of Josh Stoddy. 35 laps to go.
It has been a great race here tonight at Sauble Speedway. The two drivers that have either been up front or in second most of the race continue to battle it out. Josh Stoddy and Kyle Steckly. Now Benedict is ahead of Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick on the inside, Benedict on the high side.
Benedict not quite clear enough to where he can shut the door on JR Fitzpatrick in the 84, but he was real close last time off of turn 4. Meanwhile, at the front, Kyle Steckly all over the back end of Josh Stoddy looking for the lead.
And it is Steckly on the inside will take over top spot coming out of 2. Kyle Steckly now leading Josh Stoddy. Stoddy right into the back of him, gets him loose.
Lightens him up in turn 4. Stoddy will get the door slammed shut by Kyle Steckly. He keeps the nose of that 17 right up under the 22. Steckly pulls away by a car length down the backstretch.
Well, Stoddy knows that he can't let the 22 of Steckly get away. Steckly's done that before. We're down to 30 to go. Steckly, Stoddy, Benedict, followed by Fitzpatrick, Gresel, and Blair Wickett. Up front, still, it is Steckly.
Kyle Steckly able to keep that car pinned to the inside of the track on corner exit. That is where he is picking up his time on Josh Stoddy. Watch Steckly through 3 and 4. He's able to keep that car rotating even as Stoddy heads up towards the wall, and that is the difference right now between first and second.
Steckly, then Stoddy, followed by Benedict. We got Fitzpatrick, Gresel, and Wickett. 41 is Taylor Holloway. The field's starting to get stretched out now. Steckly looking like he did earlier in this race as he opens up about a 5-car lead on the 17 of Josh Stoddy.
Little further back, Taylor Holloway keeping the pressure on Blair Wickett in the 97. They got a little physical a number of laps ago. I'm sure Holloway does not forget as he's right behind the back of that 97 machine as they follow JR Fitzpatrick in the 84, Andrew Gresel in the 81.
I think Benedict's car gets better on the long runs, Adam, is right now he gets away on Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick back racing tonight. He didn't finish the last race because of problems with the front end. And right now, he sits back in 4th position, trying to chase down Danny Benedict.
Right now, the fastest car on the racetrack is that 54 of Danny Benedict. He is not fast enough, though, to be able to close in on Kyle Steckly and Josh Stoddy with the limited amount of laps that are left. You'd have to have a bigger advantage over those two or a yellow flag, and the racing is hot and heavy deep in the field, so anything is possible here as the laps wind down at Sauble Speedway.
Down to 22 to go right now for your race leader, Kyle Steckly. Steckly looking good. Stoddy in second, Benedict in third. Then Fitzpatrick, Gresel, Blair Wickett, and Taylor Holloway.
Blair Wickett has fallen off the back of the 81 of Andrew Gresel. He's lost a number of car lengths to that battle. So Taylor Holloway has to see that out ahead. So we'll see if he turns up the pressure as they work into turns 3 and 4. Holloway with the nose of that 41 right up under the back end of the 97.
I thought that Gresel looked very strong coming out of the break with the adjustments that he had made. Right now, he just doesn't seem to have enough for JR Fitzpatrick. Now, Steckly puts a lap car, James Horner in between he and Josh Stoddy. So Steckly has certainly turned it up a gear here.
Into the final 20 laps of the Mid Summer Classic 150, and Steckly, if he catches that pack up ahead, it is definitely going to slow him down. So Josh Stoddy needs to stay up on the wheel and keep as close as he can to the race leader, Kyle Steckly.
And Steckly now coming up on the 3 of Shea Gemmell. And you don't see this happen very often. Shea Gemmell about to get lapped.
And Gemmell pulls down to the inside of the racetrack, giving a lot of room to the 22 of Kyle Steckly. Steckly will swing around to the outside.
It is Steckly, then Stoddy, followed by Danny Benedict, and the number 84 of JR Fitzpatrick. 81 is Gresel, 41 Taylor Holloway, and 97 Blair Wickett. Luciano and 89 Chenoweth, followed by 52 of Sheridan.
Holloway finally made the opportunity he needed to get by Blair Wickett. Wickett going to try to retake that position, or at least keep pace with the 41. Right behind them, Corey Luciano having a nice rebound in that 94 machine.
Well, Steckly now up into heavy traffic coming up on Eric De La Riva. Tom Gibbons in there as well. Gibbons had the problems after the last restart and fell well back. Right now, he's in danger of being lapped here as the race leader, Kyle Steckly, comes up on the slower traffic.
12 laps to go as Kyle Steckly catches this pack of traffic. This could be the race right here. Can Josh Stoddy close in? Steckly goes to the inside of Eric De La Riva. De La Riva gives lots of room to the race leader.
Steckly. Then we've got Stoddy. Danny Benedict is reeling in the number 17 of Josh Stoddy. and he has made up a lot of distance here, Adam.
That 54 car is sprung to life here in the late stages as he closes in on Stoddy. Boy, a yellow flag is exactly what Danny Benedict could use in that 54 machine.
10 laps to go. It is Steckly out front. Stoddy in second, Benedict in third, then Fitzpatrick followed by Gresel. And coming up through the field, we have got the...
Oh, yellow flag is out. We got a slow car down the back stretch. That's Blair Wickett in the 97.
And Blair Wickett was right up there. Steckly, Stoddy, Benedict, Fitzpatrick, Gresel, Holloway, Luciano. Here we go. Kyle went high.
Whoa.
What went wrong there? Here we go. We're racing. So Steckly, now Benedict is battling out with Stoddy.
Yeah, the yellow flag comes out. I don't think Trevor Hambley would have liked that restart. And I think that might have been Kyle Steckly saying, you know, enough of the games, the last few restarts. I'm going to put you behind me on this one.
Hayes truck off to the pits. Stoddy, Steckly, Benedict, Fitzpatrick. Who's it going to be? 10 laps to go.
Wheel to wheel through 3 and 4. Kyle Steckly waiting to unleash off of turn 4. And wow, Josh Stoddy with the advantage down the front stretch. Steckly will drive it deep down into turn 1. He slides up the racetrack. They'll race wheel to wheel down the back stretch.
Well, Steckly on the inside, Stoddy on the high side. Coming by one more time. It is Stoddy with the lead.
This field is almost entirely still in pace lap formation, only a whole lot faster as they work down the back straightaway side by each into 3 and 4. Steckly keeping that car clung to the inside lane. Josh Stoddy up high. This time it's Steckly by 2 feet.
It's a drag race going on right now between Steckly, Stoddy, Benedict and Fitzpatrick are hanging in there, as is Gresel and Holloway. Coming by, it is Steckly.
Josh Stoddy with a good run up off of turn 4. Contact between Danny Benedict and Stoddy. Stoddy goes around. Holdaway goes around. Corey Luciano gets into Holdaway. My goodness. Jake Sheridan with damage, and then Sheridan just spun out. Either he's got a flat right rear or he punctured an oil line or a fluid line on that 52, and boy.
I was going to say just before that happened that all of a sudden Sheridan is right up there. Like he moved up positions before that happened.
Corey Luciano with some visibility issues as Josh Stoddy falls back in line in the second spot. So we'll bring this field to a stop on the front straightaway. And we can't even give you a full field rundown because some of the cars that shouldn't be up there at the front are up there at the front. So we'll wait till things get sorted out.
Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for the dominant driver tonight, Kyle Steckly picks up the win here at Sauble in dominant form. Come on around, Kyle. Let's talk to you. This is our VP Racing Fuels victory lane, along with our True North Top Bet interview. Kyle, you know, you were flat out the fastest car tonight. A couple guys got up and challenged with you, but at the end, you were the class of the field. Let's talk about the dominance first, and then let's talk about how the way this race ended.
Yeah, you know, these guys just worked so hard after the bad wreck 2 weeks ago. It put us in a pretty bad points spot, and, you know, they never quit working. We kept going to work. We got the car faster, and, man, it was a rocket tonight. A ton of fun to drive. It just took about 5 laps to come in, but, yeah, once it came in, I wish we could have got some longer runs because we had a really good car. Love the longer distance, and, yeah, some crazy battles, but luckily we came out on top.
You know, the race ended prematurely, gets, curfewed out. What's your thoughts on that quickly?
Yeah, you know, it sucks. Obviously, a great job to Sauble Speedway and everyone here trying to get the race in and finish it. But at the end of the night, you got to do what you got to do. And I still think that the racing was maximized, and there was definitely a great show for the fans. So just really happy to park this APC Auto Parts Pennzoil Stewart's Equipment in Victory Lane here tonight. And, yeah, just ready for the next one.
Last question I got for you. You know, a lot is made about what your dad does for you. They're down in Quebec. This is another race. You come out flat out, run great, dominant. You know, you got to be real happy with what your little crew's doing when the big guys are on the road.
Yeah, you know, we have such a great crew at 22 Racing. Everyone from the Pinty side to the late model side. You know, guys coming out every night of the week to help out here. And without all of them, it wouldn't be possible. And thankfully, I got a great group behind me that came out tonight and gave me an awesome car.
Thanks, Kyle. Congrats.
Thank you.
Kyle Steckly gets it done here at Sauble Beach.
Second place run, and you know, whenever there's fireworks out there on the racetrack, you expect JR Fitzpatrick to be in the middle of all that, and really tonight he was a participant and he battled for those spots, but he didn't turn a wheel wrong. There's not many marks on that 84 machine.
Oh, I disagree. Show that side of that car. It's pretty beat up. Jared, this is probably the messiest we've seen your car, aside from the Flamborough problem. You know, let's talk about it. A lot of battles tonight. You weren't dominant. You have to grind it tonight.
Yeah, definitely. We just missed it just a little bit. Kyle and his bunch really nailed it, so good job for them. But we were close. I was really good at the beginning, and it just started getting tighter and tighter and tighter. But for a car that was in pieces a couple weeks ago, we got to make it a little better yet, but it's still a good run for us. And I think it would have been interesting because I know Kyle is struggling a little bit with the first 3 or 4 laps. And I would have held him tight, I can tell you that. But we'll never know, and good for him and good for our team. And just got to say hi to my family at home, and happy everyone hung around for this late race. And got to thank All Automotive, Transaxle, Kami Drugging, my whole group, H2Go Mobile Wash. It was a fun night.
JR, I don't think we can call you grumpy. Mature JR Fitzpatrick, keeping it together. Good job, guys. Give me a second. We'll get in here with Andrew Gresel.
JR's got something to show you in that race car, though, in the 84. So after you're done with Gresel, let's go have a look at what JR's got, whatever the sticker is. Clinton's caught up with Andrew Gresel.
Andrew, no home track for you. You're expected to be on the podium here at Sauble, but kind of an up-and-down night for you, too. Talk about your night for us.
Yeah, you know, we just we struggled there all day, and we didn't get much practice in today, and just had some engine issues, but we got it fixed up last minute. I got to thank Danny Wright for coming over and giving us a hand there, and he made everything better for us, so that was good. But yeah, no, congratulations to Kyle and JR here. These guys are running for points, and you know, we're just out here to have some fun. It would have been nice to run out those last few laps in this race, so I was looking forward to it.
Right on there you have it. Andrew Gresel will be third tonight. JR Fitzpatrick second, and your winner, Kyle Steckly, wins the midsummer race here, the 150 at Sauble Beach. That's all from trackside. Adam, take it home.
Clinton, do us a favor, because I'm curious now. JR Fitzpatrick, there must be a decal in the cockpit of that car. If Jack can go check it out.
Yeah, it's an X cone. No cones allowed.
Is that what he was pointing out? I thought it was something to do with Grumpy maybe inside of it, but very cool. What a night here at Sauble Speedway. Saw a little bit of everything, but ultimately Kyle Steckly, the man of the hour in the Mid Summer Classic 150. So on behalf of myself, Clinton Jeffrey, Dave Middleton, and Jim Irvin, so long from Sauble Speedway, and thanks for joining us on a great night of racing.